We are going live in 2 minutes and 44 seconds. All right, we are live. This is an impromptu live. I was going to record a video and I figured, hey, let's try something different. Let's go live. Let's see how this goes. So we are here live. Thank you for joining me. For those of you who don't know, my name is Lowell Brown. My company is called Going Social. I run a digital marketing agency in Toronto, Canada. And a lot of the clients that I work with are real estate agents. And I was speaking with one earlier today, and we were doing a one-on-one consulting call, which I'll get to more about a little bit later in this live. But I was helping her with some campaigns that she has, and we were talking about audiences and setting up audiences because she doesn't have that right now for her account. She has no audiences set up. We have a pixel set up, but she doesn't drive a lot of traffic to her website. And anyways, I figured, you know what? This is going to make a great conversation for a live stream and a great topic of discussion. So instead of recording a video, I thought I'd just go live and talk about it. And I may still do a recorded video in the future, but for now, let's get into it. So the topic of discussion, if we're going to go into more detail, when you are running Facebook and Instagram ads on Facebook in Facebook's Business Manager, you have the choice when you're setting up your campaign of how you want to target your ad campaign, meaning who do you want to see your ads? Do you want your ads to be seen by a local area? Do you want to save an audience by interest? So you're looking, let's say, you could be targeting people that are looking to renovate or remodel, people who are into that are maybe looking on MLS. So there's different, there are different things within Facebook where you can actually choose certain targeting to help you with your ad setup. And then there's also ways that you could just leave it open and you could let Facebook, simply try to target your ad based on other contributing factors. It could be that let's say I'm located in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So I could say, hey, I just want my ad going to anybody in Ontario and leave it particularly open. Leave no kind of audience targeting and let Facebook decide based on my content, who I typically feed, based on data that they've collected about me, the people who engage with me, to know who to target. So you do have a couple different options of how you can set up your ad. And when it comes to real estate agents specifically, what is the best option? Is it better to have targeting? Is it better to not have targeting? And my answer may surprise you. Do you want to know the answer? If you want to know the answer, you can comment below and say yes. Yes, I'd like to know what is best. Should I have targeting? Should I not have targeting? So comment below and let me know. And also, if you are watching this video on replay and you are a real estate agent, I'd love for you to leave a note in the comments to introduce yourself and say, hi, I love meeting my new community members and engaging with you guys. And thank you for watching and thank you for commenting in advance. So what's my answer? What's my answer to this targeting dilemma? Do we target? Do we not target? And I would say it depends. And I would say yes. So that's the short and long answer. There is no one right answer. In other words, if you are just starting out in your Facebook advertising strategies, if you have not been doing a lot of advertising before, to be honest, Facebook doesn't know a lot about you. They don't know anything about people who engage with you. You haven't run ads for a while, so there isn't a lot for the algorithm to work with if you are a brand new advertiser. If you're just starting, maybe you've run one or two ad campaigns, maybe you've never run ad campaigns. In this respect, this has to be the goal of whatever type of campaign you're running needs to be a test. And the best way to help Facebook and Instagram, when I say Facebook, by the way, I'm referring to both Facebook and Instagram. Both, we'll collectively call it Meta, but whether it's Facebook or Instagram that you're advertising, if you haven't done campaigns before, Facebook needs to learn a little about you. They need to get to know you, get to know what you're doing. So you have to start running a couple campaigns, give Facebook that data. So in this respect, what I would say is don't spend a ton of money, spend a little bit of money. What is a little bit of money as a budget? If you're targeting a local area, again, in my example, I was talking about my local area here is Toronto, Canada. And typically a real estate agent will pick a specific area. You can't, because of the housing classification, you can't specify specific zip or postal codes. You have to drag your pin on a map, or you have to say a city and expand from like 13 miles on. So it can be up to 50 miles of a radius. So if you're starting out, I would recommend that you choose a fairly large area in your city, larger than where you may typically service. I know some real estate agents will leave it open and they'll say, hey, I want everybody, in a big city, they want to get quite a big audience. Some are focused on a specific small market. But in this case, give Facebook a little bit of information about you. Now, what the algorithm is actually starting to do or starting to use is the information within your creative as well. They may look at the website that you're linking to, if it's a traffic ad, and pick up text cues and information from your landing page as to who you might be targeting. They want to make sure that the ad is served to an appropriate audience. So that's one way that Facebook will try to learn who to serve your audience to. The other way is in the information on your actual ad, your headline, your text copy. If it has certain words in it, the algorithm, it's not 100% perfect, but it will try to determine, hey, this is an ad that is about real estate, about promoting a listing, especially if when you're advertising as a real estate agent, you need to select that classification. It's a requirement that you are in the housing industry. So Facebook already knows you're a real estate agent, you're in this type of an industry. This is an audience that we know that you're going to want to serve. So they have already got some data to work with to help, to help identify who your ad should be targeting. Let me just grab a quick drink. So Facebook's got a little bit of that information already that they can work with. I'm going to grab another drink. Excuse me for a second. You got to love it when you're live and you have a throat tickle. Anyways, so you've given Facebook a little bit of room and data so they can determine, a little bit about it. Let the ad run. Let's see how it does. Don't spend a ton of money. Going back to budget, I usually recommend you spend anywhere from $5 to $20 a day. If you're starting out, I would say $5 to $10 a day is fine, depending on the type of ad campaign you're running, whatever the goal is. Now let's segue for a second to before we talk about other options of how you can target. So we talked about leaving it open. I want to explain a couple other options that you have in a little bit more detail. Before I do that, I would like to remind you that if this kind of thing confuses you, if you are making your own Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns and you're confused about specific settings to set up, I already talked about, choosing the housing tag as a designation when you're advertising. I spoke about how to target by area. If these are things that you're not familiar with and you're looking for help, I have two solutions for you. The first solution is where you can jump on a call with me and on a one-to-one screen share via Zoom, discussing things like this. We record the calls and I will answer your questions and help you, guide you through setting up a Facebook or Instagram ad campaign or several campaigns. I'll help you get your ad account set up. So if you don't have a pixel installed on your website, if you don't have audiences set up, if you're not sure how to properly link your Facebook page and Instagram account to your ad account, this is the kind of thing I can help you with. If you've been running ads and you're not sure if the targeting is correct, I can help you with that. If you're running ad campaigns, you're getting results, but you don't know what the results mean. You don't know what the metrics mean, and you want to understand, hey, is my ad performing well? Are these good results? Should I be making changes? These are the kinds of things that I can help you with. So please let me know in the comments if this is the kind of thing that you would like. Just type coaching as a comment. And you can also reach out to me directly. I will have links in the description of this video. So if that is something that you're interested in, reach out to me. I will be selecting the first 3 people who comment below or reach out to me between now, today is March 18th, between now and April 15th, I will give you 20% off of my hourly rate. So if you book a call, only 3 people. So only the first 3 people who reach out to me, I'll give you 20% off my hourly rate. But otherwise, feel free to reach out below. I do have a few spots open for the next few weeks, but I will obviously engage you as a member here in my community. Now let's get back to just talking about audiences. We talked about leaving things open. So in this case, again, you may target by a specific city or area. As I said in an example, I could target Toronto. Now, what else could you do? Well, the other thing you can do when setting up a campaign, there is something where you can set up specific interest targeting. And this is where you can type in some keywords. Now, again, because of the housing demographic, Facebook cuts a lot of this targeting down, but there are still ways that you can target by interest. You can type in a keyword, and you know what? Let's actually go into a screen share and I will show you exactly what I mean right now. So let's screen share. So this is one of my dummy Facebook accounts that you see right here. So if we were to go in and I'll just lock into creating a campaign, we'll say that this is a traffic campaign for now. Typically, I'll come back to this after, but there are different types of ad campaigns that you can set up that work best for a realtor. So we're going to go with manual settings here. I'm not going to go into everything here in terms of the targeting and how to set up campaigns, but I'll just quickly show you this. So we're going to target a website. This is at the ad set level. So there's a campaign level, ad set level, and then you have your ads level. So we're going to scroll down. I'm not going to set all this up. I'm just going to jump down to where you can adjust some of this targeting. So again, we will choose Toronto. So right there, we're, choosing an area, and you can see on the map where it's going to target. It's a pretty big area. And sometimes I will tick this or untick it. And then what we want to also do, you can exclude people, which we don't want to do here. We want to leave that open. Advantage plus audience. So what this is here is you want to switch to original audience options. So this is, again, Facebook is trying to do the work for you in terms of the targeting. They're trying to say, hey, you know what? Let us do the targeting. You don't need to enter in all this other stuff. But again, if this is something that you want to get into more detail, click down here to switch to original. And then it's just going to give you a warning and say, hey, we're Facebook. We know what we're doing. You don't need to do that. But what you want to do is you're going to see this detailed targeting option now, and you can type things in. So let's say we want to type in real estate. And then it can say, hey, okay, you're interested in, now this is interested in real estate industry. You could say home sale. Just going to show you a couple example of how you can type different things in, and it's going to give you these options. So you're interested in a real estate broker. Now, these interests are based on what other people, your target audience, if they're using Facebook, what things are they commonly doing? Are they looking at real estate related websites? Are they looking at MLS as an example? Are they following or engaging with real estate agents? They may have contacts that they're already reaching out to, whether they're a buyer or a seller type agent. So putting in these things like, they're interested in, let's say, Century 21 real estate. They're interested in houses, real estate. Now, once you've got a few of these in, you can click on browse. Oh, nope, sorry. What you want to do is relevant. So this is automatically now, because I've already got a couple things in here, it's going to make other suggestions for me. So I could say Remax. I could say, and there's all these other things that come up, whether I'm interested in a real estate broker. Now, this is by job. So you do want to look at the category. So we've got demographics, that these are people who would be employed by. So we may not want that, because we want to actually target people with interest in, okay, business in or industry in. So this is just an example of, I'm trying to, let me type in MLS, and it's going to pull up soccer, of course, but we want to do, or what you can either do, you could do things like house, for home and garden, Zolo, as in real estate. So interest, real estate agents directory. So this is just giving Facebook, and there's all these other categories. You can go further down. But the idea here is you can enter things. I mean, I can even go into, let's say my clientele, I want to find instead of targeting things like, real estate interest, I could say, hey, my target is a very high-end target. I only want very high-end clients. Well, then you could type in luxury brands like Mercedes. And where did that go now? Where'd the search go? I was typing stuff in here. Mercedes vehicles. So now you can delete some of this other stuff. Just going to show you the difference here and how this is going to work. So now I'm targeting Mercedes, but look, luxury vehicles. So now I could go in and it's picking up all of these little luxury related things. So now Facebook can say, hey, okay, looks like you're interested in some high-end luxury goods, retailers. So now I've got a different audience. Instead of targeting people that are interested in real estate, I'm telling Facebook, this is really who you're kind of giving Facebook more information, and you're telling them this is really who I want to target. So you can do things like that as well. Let's get out of this mode again and come back to this screen. And so we've talked about, one, you can leave targeting open. Two, you can target by interest. You could combine those, right? Like I did in this example. And there's another way where you can actually target based on other audience groups. And I will show you that in a second. But before I do, I did again want to give you another call to action of something that you can do if you're looking for help. So I already described and explained how, if this is the kind of thing that confuses you, if you're not sure about certain setup with ads, one of the other things that I've created is an online course, an online Facebook ads course for real estate agents. And I cover a number of different topics. These are videos that are prepared for you in advance. So what you're doing is you're buying an online course. You are getting videos that I've created, guided you through the strategies that as a real estate agent, I would recommend you take for winning Facebook ads that work. Now, this course covers everything from setting up your Facebook ads account, so your actual ads account, installing a pixel, showing you how to do that, how to test that the pixel's firing on your website. I go into detail like I did here about how to create audiences, which I'm going to demonstrate a preview of in a second. We also go into showing you step by step how to create specific ad campaigns. Now, what are the ad campaigns that work for real estate agents? Well, there's a number. Now, I already showed you when we went to this screen share here. I'm going to close this out. Now, I showed you that when you want to create a new campaign, you've got a couple choices. You could get one that is an awareness campaign. You could create one that's a traffic campaign. You can create one that is, make this a little bit bigger, an engagement campaign. Lead campaign. Now, what are all of these? So a traffic campaign is one that's going to drive traffic to your website. Let's say you've got a landing page for a property listing. Well, instead of driving people to your homepage, which may list all kinds of different listings, if you're promoting a specific property, drive them to a website for that property so that people can find the information, so they can fill out a form as a lead that they're interested in. So a traffic website is one. Maybe you want engagement. Maybe you're sharing posts on social media and you want to get engagement on your posts. You want your posts to reach more people. Well, that's an engagement style. Maybe you want a messenger ad so that you're promoting a listing. You get messages sent to you through Instagram or through Facebook's Messenger. That would be an engagement ad. One that's very popular is leads. In a leads ad, the ad, instead of driving to a website, it opens to a form where someone can fill out a form right on Facebook to enter their name, their phone number, their email address, and other information if you select to collect it. So that's a lead format. So in this Facebook course, I will show you step by step how to create all of these different types of campaigns. I'll show you the exact settings that I go through when I set them up. I will show you how to do the targeting. I will give you tips and information on your creative. A big thing that makes a huge difference with your ad campaigns is the creative. How does the visual look? How is it constructed? Is it easy to read text on it? Do you have too much text on your visuals? So all of that stuff, I help you so that you can get the best results. I've gone through this with hundreds of clients. I know what works. I know what's not going to work so well. What headlines work well? When should a headline be shorter or longer? Things like that. Along with the traffic ads, you could do an ad with one image. You can do an ad with one video. You could do a carousel ad, which has multiple. When you see those ads where you're swiping across multiple images? Well, I'll show you the best practices for how to set each one of these up. So that Facebook ads course is available. It is on sale right now as well. If you click the link in the description, or also, I would love to know if you're interested in this. You can also type in the comments and I'll send you a direct message through YouTube as well. Tell me that you want the course. Just say course in the comments. And you can also find the link in the description of this video so that you can go check out more information about the course. Again, the point of it is to save you time, to show you what works, to explain strategies to avoid that will waste money. I also go into great detail discussing how to read the metrics. How do you know when your campaign's been running too long? How do you know when it's time to switch the campaign creative because you need to get more leads? How do you know if your ad isn't reaching enough people, how to make it reach more? I go into other details as well. I mean, there's other bonus videos. I just recorded a video recently explaining how you can create an Instagram ad to help you attract more Instagram followers. And that can be hugely important because if you're starting out and you don't have a lot of followers, it's hard for you to reach new people when you're doing posts on social media. And when people look at your campaign and they see that, hey, you've only got 100 followers, but then they look at another realtor who's got, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000 followers. Well, the other follower looks a little bit more successful. They look like they've got more of an audience, that they maybe will be a better agent. And that's the presentation it gives. So if you want to improve your image by growing your audience, there is a way with Facebook ads to get a targeted audience to help you reach more people, to grow your account faster, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. So all these are types of strategies I cover in this course, and I really want you to check it out. So feel free to reach out below. Let's get back to one other idea, one other suggestion you can do with targeting audiences. And I do want to show you an on-screen demo. So let's go back to the demo mode here. Let's get out of this. And I'm going to go over to the side here. I probably have a couple audiences set up, but what I'm going to do is show you this. You'll see that in the right side menu here, you've got audiences. That's where we want to go. Now, if you don't have this, you may also see business settings, and you can click under that, and hopefully this isn't going to block me out right now. It is. Great. Okay, so give me 1 second. Now, I've got security on my account, and I just have to type in a code here so that Facebook will know it's me. And this is a security setting you should have set up on your account also, so that it prevents hackers from being able to log into your account. And it doesn't matter, that code is going to recycle anyway, so it doesn't give you any information. But when you're in here, you can go up to this side, or this is the actual menu that I wanted you to find, but you might see it under here, advertise, and then you can click on audiences. So we're just going to open that up in here. And you're going to get to this screen, and you may have some audiences set up already. I'm just going to set up a couple new ones and show you a couple that you can set up here. And again, this is the kind of thing that I do cover in more detail, either with a one-on-one call with clients, or I do this in the course as well. So again, what you want to do under here is you can create an audience. You go to custom audience. Now you've got a bunch of different choices here. The ones that are most relevant for real estate agents, there is website. So that is making an audience based on traffic going to your website. For this to work, you do need to have a Facebook pixel installed on your website. So that's issue number one. Customer list. If you have a database, of email addresses, names, phone numbers, email addresses, you can upload that to Facebook. What this is going to allow you to do is two things. One, you can create a targeted list so that you can run ads specifically to this list. The other thing you can do with all of these audiences that I'm going to briefly discuss here is that you can create what's called lookalike audiences. And that's where you can take data that you're feeding Facebook, and you can say, hey, Facebook, here's information about an audience that I like, that is my target audience. I want you to find people that are like these people. And that's where Facebook can create, they call them lookalike audiences. They're going to take that data and they're going to say, okay, well, this is an audience that we have to work with. Let's find people that aren't in this audience and help you target people with similar interests in it. So that's something that you can do. You can target people that are connected to you on Instagram, or that have engaged with your Instagram posts, or engaged with Instagram ads. Same thing with your Facebook page. Videos. So anyone who's watched parts of your video, you can create an audience of those people. So this is good for remarketing. If you want to, when you're thinking of targeting, you want to think about, a cold audience being someone who knows nothing about you. They may have heard your name once. They may not even know who you are. These are cold people. They don't know you very well. You haven't warmed them up yet. Someone who has maybe seen ads from you before, has received a letter in the mail from you. They may know you by your local area. They may have followed you on Facebook. They may see your Instagram posts. That's considered a warmer audience. Maybe they've given you their email address. That's an even warmer audience. A customer, that's a hot audience, right? So maybe you've got clients that you've worked with, you've sold houses or helped them buy houses in the past. They trust you, right? So they would recommend you to other people. That's hot. So when you're creating these audience groups and when you're doing your advertising, you want to consider cold, warm, and hot audiences. You want to the most targeted audience of your ideal customer is a hot audience. So anything that you've got to use with a hot audience is a best indicating factor. It's going to be a smaller audience size, but if you can give that to Facebook and say, Facebook, these are my people. Find me more of my people. That's a good audience to create as a lookalike. When you're dealing with cold, you're going to get a lot, even if you did a lead ad, you're going to get leads that are random and people don't know you, but they will work down your funnel. They will go from cold. You want to warm them up. You want to do more posts, get more videos seen, get more posts seen, feed them more ads so that they get to know you better. They start engaging with you on your posts. They build up trust with you and they move down your funnel of becoming warmer, becoming to a hot client, becoming to someone who would recommend you to their neighbors and their friends. So I work with my clients to help them build up a strategy for their marketing so that they can do this, so that they can, hit a cold audience, get some posts out there, but then hit them again with a video, hit them again with an ad about listings or an open house or things like that. So this is the type of thing I help my clients with. Now let's get back to screen sharing mode. I want to show you just a quick way that you can set up an audience. We'll take a website here. So you click on website. So what I'm doing now is I'm saying, hey, the source is the pixel. This is the pixel I have on my website. And what you can do is under events, and you'll see this in other categories as well. If you want to get more information, by the way, if you want more details specifically about how to set up audiences like this, you can check out some videos that I've got here on my YouTube channel. You can also check them out in my online course. So don't forget about that. You can get very detailed videos showing you step by step, just like I'm kind of describing here, but going into much more detail about how to set up those audiences. So when you come into the audiences selectively, some of these will have a drop-down menu under that. And then here you can say, I want people, this is where you can narrow that down. Do you want all people who went to your website? Do you want people who visited specific web pages? So if you're doing a landing page for a specific property, you could say, hey, I just want people who went to this specific website, or visitors by time spent. So I want people who spent, over 2 minutes on my website as an example. I don't use that very often. Now, these are some custom events I set up for my specific web page or a couple pages that I had. In most cases, you just want to target all website visitors. Now, what about audience retention? This is how far back do you want the pixel to track who went to your website? And I believe if you click over here, the longest is 180 days. So we want to find as big of an audience as possible. We're going to say, Facebook, find people in the last 180 days who visited my website. And then you want to give this website a name. So web visitors, I'm just going to call this a test so I know later to delete it, 180 days. So we'll now do that and click on create audience. And that's it. You've created this audience. Now, if I wanted to, this again is a small audience, but if I wanted to create an ad campaign from this, I can, while I'm going down, instead of leaving it open or instead of doing targeting like we did before, I can create an ad campaign and say, Facebook, I want you to use this audience. Now I can create more audiences and group those together. So this is a fairly warm audience. I could say, hey, Facebook, I want you to use people who are connected to me on Facebook. I'll show you quickly how to do that next. You could say, Facebook, I want you to create an audience of people who have seen previous ads that I've run. So you can group all these together to build a bigger audience and then show your ad to them, feed your ad to them. So those are some of the targeting things you can do with your ads. Generally, I tell real estate agents to start broad and test broad, But we do also run some campaigns to go along with that, supporting that, where we'll target these other audiences because, again, we want to hit people at different stages of the funnel. We want the cold audience, we want the medium audience, we want warm audience. We want to make sure people are still seeing us. So we'll develop a strategy of how many ad campaigns are we running, who are the different audiences we're going for, what is the goal of the ads, and that's how I structure some strategies with clients. Now, I do want to show you something else here. Now, we saw that we created the audience. Well, once you've done it, you can create a lookalike audience of that. Now, once you've created the audience, you could select it from here, and I want to show you another way to do it. So we just created one here. So we can select this audience. This was the test 180 days website visitors. You'll see it's populating. It'll say it hasn't found anything because it was just created. Typically, Facebook does need a little bit of time to populate that audience. It is probably going to be small because it is a website audience, so website traffic based. Right now, they're saying it's below 1,000 people that have visited my website. Now, again, this isn't just anybody. These are Facebook is finding Facebook users, people who have a profile, who have visited my website in the last 180 days. So the audience is going to be fairly small, which is why we want to come up here, go under here and create a lookalike audience. So it's right away going to select the source, which was my audience of 180 days. And we have to enter in a country. No matter where you are, you have to enter in a country. It sounds broad that it's Canada versus me going local, as I said. So if you're in the States and you wanted to target only people in Florida, that's okay, because when you create your ad campaign, you're going to still select the area you want to target. This is just to help Facebook get an audience for you. The next thing you want to do is look at this number of lookalike audiences. You could create more than one here. So I could say I want to create 2 at the same time. And then you can adjust the size of that audience. And you'll see that as I drag these things, so I've created 2. I'm creating 2. Instead of doing this twice, I'm letting Facebook do this for me 2 times in one shot. You'll see that I'm creating 2% of website visitors there, and then a 2 to 5%. So in this case, this first audience is 655,000 people that it could potentially reach. That's a good audience. The other is from 2 to 5% is a 1 million. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll say, hey, I just want one audience and I want it to be about 1 million. You'll see that as I drag this, it changes the audience size, right? So now I'm at 1.3. So let's just say I want a 1 million size audience. That's a good audience. That's what I would recommend, is around 1 million. You could do what I did before and do 2 audiences, one that was 600K, one that was 1 million. That's perfectly fine as well. And just test those audiences. And then we create the audience. You'll notice this is going to be the name of the audience, 3% of Canada based on website visitors. It's a lookalike audience. So that's the estimated reach. When I go to create my ad campaign, it is not going to reach this many people, because from here, from this million number of people, I'm still going to narrow that down to whatever area I'm targeting. If it was Toronto and 50 miles of Toronto, that's probably going to be, 100,000 people, maybe 60,000 people, but that's still a bigger audience than it would be with that Facebook traffic audience, which was under 1,000. So I'm going to create this audience, and now you'll see it in my list. So again, when I go to create a new ad campaign, I can say, Facebook, this is a warmer audience. These are people that I like. I want you to create this campaign. I want targeting my lookalike audience. The point of this, again, is getting back to testing. When you create ad campaigns for your business, when you're looking to test out Facebook and Instagram ads, you have to test different ad types. So we talked about whether it's an image ad, a video ad, whether it's a lead form ad, all kinds of different things like this. You want to test that. You also want to test different creative. You also want to test targeting it to different audiences. And again, you might be overwhelmed thinking, hey, this is so many things I have to do. I just want to run an ad. I just want it to be simple. There are strategies to keeping it simple. And I do that with clients. I have some clients where we only run 2 types of ads and it works for them, and that's it. But I have other clients where we want to try strategies, because sometimes those strategies that work, they may not work forever. or we may want to, we've been feeding that audience repeatedly. We want to reach new people. So in order to reach new people that we haven't reached before with our ad campaigns, we have to try something different. We have to try a colder audience. We have to try a lookalike audience. So these are strategies that I'll take with clients. And I will either teach you this in a one-to-one course kind of conversation, or you can learn about this in my online course. But these are the types of things. There are many options that you have when creating ad campaigns, many different ways to target different audiences and reach new people to bring in different types of goals, whether it's to engage more with people and build up your following through Facebook or Instagram, whether it's to feed ad leads so that you get, new leads to call. Let's say you're promoting a listing and you want to get people who are interested in buying that house. Great. There's certain ads you can run for that. Let's say you're looking for people to help find a new home rather than, trying to sell a property, looking for buyers. There's different ad campaigns you can run to do that. I know another thing that's good for bringing in leads is people have free home evaluations. There's different ways to run ad campaigns to promote that kind of a thing. So that's where audiences can sometimes be important to ensure that you set all this stuff up, because if you're doing one type of ad only on Facebook over and over again, it's not going to always work for you. And you're missing out on all these other ways that you can reach people to effectively promote yourself as a real estate agent, to effectively reach new people in new ways. Again, you want to make sure that they're seeing not just ads where you're selling a property, but ads where you're sharing information, ads where you're adding value to them, educating them, where you're explaining what you're doing in the community. All of these types of things, it's important to have that as part of your marketing mix. So again, before we end this live, and thank you for tuning in for those that did, thank you for those who have commented below. If you did find value in this video, please give me a thumbs up below. Subscribe if you are interested in learning more about Facebook and Instagram ads. I have lots of videos here. I also cover topics like Canva, teaching you how to create graphics for your ads, LinkedIn, helping you to use LinkedIn as another platform to promote yourself and your business. There's lots of things I've got going on, so feel free to subscribe to this channel, and that way you get notified the next time I record and release another video. Again, reminder, if you're looking for help with Facebook ads, feel free to check out the link below where you can book me in a one-on-one call, and I will help you and take you through the steps that we go through here, or answer any questions that you may have. Or you can check out my online course for Facebook and Instagram ads for real estate agents. Once again, my name is Lowell Brown from Going Social. I really do hope that you found this video valuable. Stay tuned. I will be doing more lives, and I would also welcome you to, if you're interested as well in being notified of other things that I'm doing, I do have an email list, so you can join my community. Reach out, find me below. You can find ways to connect with me through my website, through LinkedIn. Connect with me. Would love to hear from you if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much. So much for watching with me, for having fun. I hope you found this video successful for you, informative, and I'll see you soon. Bye.